Hello friends, welcome back. Join me as I try to master the Azure Web App Deployment Slots and make it super easy to manage my app settings. So come, let's get started. Azure Web App Deployment Slots are a game changer for developers like us. They allow us to manage the different environments such as production and staging in a super efficient way. With deployment slots, we can test and validate our app in a staging environment before promoting it to the production, which reduces the risk of errors and downtime. Now, this video is part of AZ204 certification series video, and we are looking at this one, configuring deployment slots, which is coming under this section. If you want to know what we are talking about, if you go to this website and click on this AZ204 study guide, this is the study guide as of today. Alright, and we already covered all of these things, and this video covers the deployment slots, and then in the next video we'll be covering about the auto scaling. Now we will go back to azureportal.azure.com, and I have several resources. If you are following me, you know how efficiently we use to have 0 to very minimum cost per month billing, which is less than $1 for me always. Now, we already built and deployed a lot of things, and we are referring to this particular web API. If I click on this, and on the overview blade, currently it is showing under which region it is running and what I have. If you look at this, this is the app service plan, and this is a free plan. I do not have slots or anything that is available in the free plan. So what I'm going to do is, just to talk about the deployment settings, I'm going to create a web app with a higher plan, or I will also show you how things works. So for example, if we are on this plan, if I go to app service plan and click on app service plan, it is telling me what plan I have, right? If you look at this, I'm on F1, which is a free tier. Instance count 0, which means I can't scale out. Slots 2, I didn't use anything, so it's 0. So these are the things. If I click on this, under that plan I have 2 things used. Okay, so if I go back, I can actually go and change the plan here. For example, so if you click on the change plan, it will change. You can change from this plan to another plan. This is the resource group, and this is the plan name. Again, you can change this here. Sometimes it may not allowing us to change here, but let's see. If we go to a search and say web app and go to this web app, let's say we create a new web application. Okay, so for example, I will use this subscription. I'm gonna use the resource group as demo RG. I'm going to use this because I'm going to tell it this. Okay, so here, so I gave a name like this. Okay, and then I'm going to quickly select this, so you don't need to look at this. But here, once I choose this, this region is fine. Okay, so this is very important. If you go to pricing plan, okay, right now, if we have to talk about this auto scaling and deployment slots, there are certain things you need to remember. Only the plans from the standard. So there are plans like S1, S2. These are the plans that supports these slots. And if you look at this scale, like under the scale, it will tell you how much it can scale. And let's say we choose this one. See, S1 is selected. And if I just keep it everything like this, because anyway we're going to tell it this, so let's keep it this way, and I will quickly go over everything so that you don't need to redo this. But if you come to networking, you can enable this, and then if I come to this review create, pay attention, it is showing $80 per month. Yes, for application which is real-time use for business purpose, at least this is the minimum plan that is required, so that you can use a proper proper thing for the business basically. So I know it is going to cost me, it is only for demo purpose. As soon as my demo is done, I will be deleting the resource itself, so it should not be a big thing. It is per month, right? If I use it for like 1 hour, it is going to charge me only a few cents only for that 1 hour. So I'm going to click on create. There is nothing wrong in this. Do not panic. It's okay. If you're using something with 30 days trial plan, these costs will go under that. You will not even incur any money. So this deployment is getting deployed, and let's fast forward. Once the deployment is done, we'll talk about it. Alright, so deployment is completed. I'm going to go to the resource, and if you look at this, it will show you something good here. So let's go take a look at the app service plan here, and now you see right now it is like this. You can scale out, and if I say scale out, it will show you the current plan, price. See, maximum scale instance 10 server. So basically let me understand, let me explain what it is, right? So currently our application is deployed under one VM under the IIS. It can actually have 10 copies. That's what called 10 instance. So if too many requests are coming, it can auto scale so that every server can handle the request and serve it. Okay, at the moment only one, and see, it is 0.11 USD per hour. That's why this is costing this much. So if I take this video for 1 hour, I will be incurring only 10 cents. No big deal, right? So if you want to learn, you can do the same thing. It's not going to cost you more. You can delete after doing all of this work. Okay, so now this is what it is. Now what do we do for deployment slots? What is happening is, first of all, this one, right, this one has something which is deployed. For deployment slot, what you have to do is you have to come to this deployment and deployment slot, and under deployment slot, see, there is no slots here at the moment. Okay, if I click on add slot, I will tell you something that you need to understand. It is asking you to add a name to it. So for example, if I do like this, then this will become the name. Okay, so clone settings from this. Yes, I want to clone everything. So I will just say staging. See, now what happened? It took the name here and then it added dash staging. Okay, so that's how deployment slot works. Okay, for example, if we have this is like mainly for just before going to the production. So let me add this. So once you add this, there is another new web app, like the name that we gave dash staging is created, and it will show up here. Okay, we can refresh this. It will show up here. Still it is working on it. It will come here. All right, see, very nice, right? So what it is saying is, okay, it is currently this one in production. So what, let me tell you one more time. So if I go to overview, okay, if I go here and see, this is the one which is working. Okay, so if I go to deployment slot, what will happen is, for example, currently this application is running. You made some changes, like business made some changes. The changes needs to propagate to the production. They would have tested in the lower environment, but after they go to production, they need to make sure this is having no problem, right? So what they will do is, what they can do is, without shutting down the machine, without shutting down the production URL, you can actually transfer the traffic here. For example, here I'm saying 0% is traffic. I can say 100%, I mean 50%. So 50% of the request will go here, 50% of the request will go here. If I say 100% and save, all of the 100% traffic will come here. Now you can test it and then you can swap it. For example, again, this is tricky, you just need to understand. So first what we did, we removed the production, the current production thing, and we said go here. Okay, so which means probably it is like this. We said all the traffics go here. Now once they test this 100%, okay, no problem, everything works very great. Now how do you convert or deploy the code which is here to this one? Because users will know only the other one, right? So what they will do is they'll click on swap, and you can actually swap it. So see, source is this, target is this. I'm saying start swapping. So now what will happen? The code which is here will go to here. The code which is here will come to here. Staging to production, production to staging. We swapped the code without 0% downtime. So let's say if the user were on this production site, right? All of a sudden after the swap is completed, they'll start seeing the new changes. I mean, swap is not completed yet, but that is what it means. So the deployment sorts are very important, that you test the production code just before going to the production. Once everything looks good, with 0% downtime, you can swap it. That's how it works. So you can actually say 50-50, test it, change it. The swapping is happening. At the moment there is no code, but that is how the deployment slots are created. That is how the swapping is done. See, swapping is done. Now I change this to 0%. I want every single call to go to this one. I will save it. What happened? We swapped the code which was deployed here to here, and traffic is now 100% because just few minutes back we tested the staging environment, looking good, we swapped it. So this is how the deployment slots and swapping works. Remember, this can be done only with the particular plan. For example, if I go back to my home, this resource, I will show you why this cannot be done in a lower plan. So let's say I'm going to take to the free tier plan, which is this one. Okay, so if I click here, if I go to deployment slots, see, it's saying, hey, you do not have the plan that can support the deployment slot. You need to upgrade it. If I upgrade the service plan from F1 to S1, say F1 is the current one. If I upgrade to a different one like this, for example, then only it will allow me to create the deployment slot. This is what you need to know. In exam, they'll ask you what is the minimum version of the plan that supports the deployment slot, which is minimum is S1. It's called protection plan. Okay, so that is what this video is all about. In summary, using Azure Web App Deployment Slots simplifies the deployment process and makes it super easy to manage the app settings across multiple environments. If you want to learn more about Azure tips and tricks, be sure to check out my other videos, and I would love to hear about your experience with the deployment slots in the comments. So have you encountered any challenges or successes? Let me know in the comment section, and if you have not subscribed, subscribe to my channel, and
thanks for
I will see you in
watching.
the next video,
If
guys.
you found this
Thank you.
video
Bye-bye.
helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech tutorials. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Happy coding!